Hello. Okay, I'm going to talk about, I always talk about this life path numbers, right? But I'm going to show you a website that I really want you to download, all right, if you can, as an app. And it's this one right here. Now, when you type it, just type that right there, Fortune Teller Life Path by Julian Davinich. All right. This is where I always start out, like with things. Like in life, I always start out with this. And so this is my life path right here. So I'll show you. It sounds crazy, but this is what I do. Honestly, this is how I do it. I'm an 11 according to this. I'm an 11, like life path number 11. So I'm a psychic, apparently. But it says that I'm drawn to movements or organizations. So basically, any fanatical cults or fringe movements. I live in Kansas. So, like, religious cults are everywhere. But um, let's see, my path deals with diplomacy, affairs, cooperation, patience, persistence, persuasion, loyalty, peacemakers. So basically, I have the same life path as Joe Biden and Barack Obama. So this is theirs too. So, and my aunts is like in between the same thing. So, um, anyways, and then it just goes down. All right. So, anyways, like opportunities. This deals with psychic, metaphysical fields, healing, psychic, invention, talents, like whatever. All right. Um, so you're gonna come to this page right here. All right. And let's say let's look at this one. This is like three women in my family. All right. And they all have this one. And this is a life path 3. So basically, the path they need to follow is creativity, self expression through art, beauty, and friendly. So, all of this stuff is going to benefit them in life. This is what's going to send them on their trajectory. So, um, I know the first time I saw theirs, I was so jealous. I was just like, oh my God. I always wanted to be an artist. And then I just like finally accepted this, and different things started happening in my life. Like I did not want to be that. I did not want to be that at all. I did not want to be that right there. But for some reason, I always came back to that. I like always. I didn't want to be that originally. I wanted to be like, mm, I wanted to be like somewhere around here, but it didn't work for me. It wasn't working. The only thing that was working was that, and maybe some of this. But ultimately, that I couldn't do. My mom was good at that. Um, like I think my niece and my sister are good at stuff like art and beauty and creativity, but let's see, who's this? This would be like, this is like my uncle. He's like businessman. He's really good at business. So, and he owned his own business. It was successful for many years. So, my dad, he's like a leader, number one. So, you know, but it's very like it's hard. I would say I already know. Like for instance, let's say Donald Trump. He's a number 4. He's good at playing Risk, if you know what I mean. So the game Risk. So if I was Donald Trump, I'd play this game. Risk. uh, this, you know, that game. But cut it with like do it this way. So like I know it sounds crazy, like we already did that, but like you could do this, but do it this way. Like, does that make sense? Because you already have this down, right? Because you're number 4. You build empires, right? I think so. Life path, President Donald Trump. So he's like a 4, isn't he? I think so. Yeah, he's a 422, so he's also a 22. So he's a master number too. He's got like mystical abilities too, so he's within that range right there. He's a master number 22 plus a 4. That makes him a master builder. So, yeah, mapping out. He's the builder of everything. He creates everything. So expect that, Mr. Creation, kind of like the builder. He manifests things and stuff. If I were to pull a card out for him, I would say tarot card. He'd be like the magician. Hopefully, it can't twist around, but you know, good and bad, good and bad. You know, but eventually you'll end up where you need to be. But yeah, 22 and 4. So that's just like he's like a big celebrity. So you could look it up. So, and mine is right below his line path of 11. So, yeah, it's a master number. It's known as like, yeah, intuition, spiritual awareness. But it just depends. Like, I'm not a very good artist. Honestly, I'm not. I'm really not. But I try to be. I try. I try to learn it. I'm better at the history of it than I am at and actually creating it. So, um, but yeah, that's what I do. So, but let's see. Let's look at Nicki Minaj, for instance. I don't know what her life path number is. She's December 11 8. So 1982. Life path. So what is she? A 4. So she's that way too. Yeah. She could be a 2. A builder. She's a builder. So she can do that too. She's number 22. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, she's a 31. So that's actually a 4. So she's a builder. She's a builder or a manager. Focus heavily on stability, order, laying lasting foundation. So if I were to look at her to achieve success through perseverance, organization, no nonsense approach. A builder. So maybe create her own record industry. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But more along the lines of monopoly. Let's see. I could see her going the Monopoly route now. She's already done music, right? So might as well just go Monopoly. Heading in that direction. Whereas my sister and mom, I'd say Pictionary. You know, like stuff like that. But I could also see Donald Trump doing Ouija. You know, he's probably pretty good at Ouija too. So, especially at 33 too. 33, 11, 11, 22, and 33 is probably your best numbers. So, those are Ouija players. So, but he could also probably do like Risk and Monopoly because he's already had Monopoly. He knows how to do Monopoly. As for my father, I would go Risk eventually, like starting off, you know, like let's go world domination. Um, Immediately. What to do, world domination. What would I do? Like, if I was to ask my dad, what countries should we start like annexing to America at this point? I'm assuming he'd probably say, I don't know, Canada, Mexico, like all this area right here. He'd totally be in agreement with that. I'm sure he would. I don't know. He You'd have to ask him, but I couldn't think my father wouldn't think that if this was all of the United States of America, he wouldn't be mad with that in any way, I don't think. I mean, to have like he can go up to Greenland, Canada, Mexico, because that's all America right there. That's the whole United States of America. Means that we can like dominate this section. But just to think, if he, I don't know, it's up to him. I don't think my dad would feel like, oh, we need to go all. I mean, it's a good idea, but if he had his druthers, I think my dad would say, yeah, we need to take this whole section of the world, this whole section of the world, because this whole section of the world is dominated by what, Russia and China already. We can secure our bases around here, make sure but if we take this whole section of the world, ain't nobody gonna fuck with us on this section of the world. That's how I would see my father say it. Monopoly, like, this is totally my uncle. He could play this all fucking day. I see it. This is like his thing, but yeah. Probably like also like, you know, builder. So, but yeah, my mom and my sister are like Pictionary, like Barbie, whatever. I don't know, just anything creative, interior design. I could totally see my mom like or my niece understanding like, I don't know, Melania Trump's like aesthetic or something. I don't know. Her Christmas trees. I don't know. Let's look at it. Christmas trees, Melania Trump. Big old controversy she had back when she first started. I thought it was beautiful, honestly. But I can see my Melania Trump, the controversy behind it. It was just like, oh my God, she did what? Um, what was that? Public criticism on the internet for avant-garde, unconventional. Like, whatever. That's not a bad look. I don't care. It's unique. It's unique. I don't know what they did with it, but I don't remember it being like that. I remember it had those lights added to it. I love those lights she had when you walked through. Looked so haunting, like a forest at night. Wasn't it? I swear to God, it was at nighttime they put it. When they showed it at nighttime. I don't remember. It was like this, yeah. Something like that. It was like, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know. So statement like brutalism, strong statement piece versus Rococo, where Rococo is more like that, you know. Um, this is the one I always talk about. Jean Honoré's Fragonard de Swing. So look how embellished it is. It's so embellished, right? There's so much going on, movement, all of this. There's a little bit of storytelling here, storytelling here, and even storytelling here. And then on top of that, you have this like beautiful canopy, and it's swinging back and forth. So very, very rococo. Versus this appearance, which is very minimalist, brutalist almost in a way, if I would say brutalism. And now this is back to the reference I had before. So let's look at brutalism. So you get these things, right? These buildings, very stark, very, what is it called? Western European, very Western European, Soviet bloc stuff, you know, like inspired by Russia and Soviet stuff versus this, which is very so. Anyways, yeah, if I were to talk about creativity and life path number threes, I would think like Pictionary, you know, and art creativity. Because this ain't creativity at all. This is just trash and garbage everywhere, and I don't like it. So it's just not the way I want to live, honestly. But I do it out of necessity. So, anyways. Um, but do you understand what I'm saying? I always say there are like 5 games that people play in life. It's either Risk, Monopoly, uh, poker, you know, and I think it's 5. I'll add Pictionary in there now, and Ouija. So if you can fit into those categories, you're usually headed in the right direction. Does that make sense? Does it? I don't know. It might sound crazy, but poker, like, I don't know, strategy in terms of business, I guess. I don't know. Waging bets or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to throw like pearls to swine. I don't believe in that. I don't think I am. I never do. I just know what you put out, you get back. That's what I believe. So, as far as if I'm out here putting out bad, I don't really think I'm putting out bad. I really don't. I don't think I'm putting out bad. So yeah, I would always say reference your life path as your foundational base in life, and then go from there. So, and then you can look into deeper things. It's not about a competition of like, I don't know, taking what somebody else has. I can't draw Rembrandt. I can't. But I'm sure there's someone out there that can. I can't draw like this, but I know someone that can. I know someone that can do this, something like this, but I can't personally do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you only look, God gives you everything you need. He gives you all the tools you need in life. You just have to know which ones to use. So, yeah. So, like, my mom, I think she's really good at interior design, but she just needs the right formal training in it, or something like, or not interior design, I think, but she just needs the right formal training. So, I mean, she's great at it. She decorates the house all the time, so that's her fun thing to do. My aunt was pretty good at it, but I think my aunt always had like, sparks of creativity that to influence like someone, like into like, oh, if you add this to it might boost it up a bit. Maybe people were jealous about that, but I think her intention was like mine, uh, sharing the joy, uh, the goodness. It's not about competition at that point. It's about how to do better, like improve yourself. Um, so I say like trajectories in life. If you can jump on your trajectory line, most people start out in music, all right? Like the big celebrities do. It always starts out pretty much in music. But you also have to be able to be multifaceted, I think. That's how I learned it in university. Like, you can't be just good at math. You're going to have to be good at composition. You're going to have to be good at history. You're going to have to be good at science. You're going to have to be good at multiple things, or you're going to flunk out regardless. You're going to have to bust your ass in all fields. So, like, I'm just going to have to be as good as in writing as I'm going to have to be good in my science courses. And then I'm going to have to apply that to whatever field that I can, or expertise or life path that I'm on. So, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like bullshit, but that's how I do it. Like, I know for a fact that water is an important asset, right? We all know that. And that's never something that's ever going to run out. And that's never going to be something that's not going to be, like, never not in demand at some point, right? So, it's a guaranteed win every single time, right? What would you say? It's just one of those products. But I don't, even if I had the means to do it, you know, I think I would actually need a businessman or a business partner or someone who knows something about business to facilitate that, you know. Sure, I can come up with the idea, but I'm going to be needing someone out there who knows how to do that shit. Or a number four who knows how to build an empire out of that, you know, like you have one guy that's like, all right, this is how much it's going to cost us, and this is how much we're going to have to do it, this is what we're going to have to do. But then you might have a business guy who says, oh yeah, the market value in, I don't know, Europe for this product is such and such, we can build this there, we can build it in Australia, and we can build it in Africa, and we can build it in Russia. So, but You just have to know people's expertise in what areas and fields they are. It's not like I'm trying to throw pearls to swine. It's not like that. It's just, to me, that's basic common sense. If you don't know this shit by now, then what's wrong with you? Are you still trying to run a rat race that you'll never win? I mean, are you a one-trick pony, or are you multifaceted? Because there's a lot of one-trick ponies in life. You can burn out one thing, you know. One thing, after a while, you can burn it out. So it's just how you incorporate it into your life. So yeah, I mean, sure, you're really good at this thing, all right? So how do you incorporate this field into it? How do you incorporate this field into it? How do you perfect the two and combine them? It's not about, it just seems like common sense to me. If you don't already know this, you're an idiot. So I'm not trying to work my way to the very top like that. I'm not in competition for that shit, because I already know God will give me whatever God wants to give me. And if God doesn't want to give me that, it's probably for a good reason. It's probably because I don't want to be around that kind of, I don't know, whatever. That's just not for me. God will always put you in places that He thinks that you need to be. Like here, for some reason. Like I said, I knew I was supposed to live in this apartment before I moved in here. And sure enough, I got a call to move into this apartment when I knew I was going to move in here. It just took me 20 years to figure out why. It was probably because I hated being like that one thing. I really did. I totally hated being that one thing. But for some reason, I was always walking past this apartment, C11, and God would always say, "You're going to move in here." And I was like, hell no. It's too expensive. And I every time, I'd walk up here, like down here, around here, and straight up to my parents' house when I was like in college. And every time I walk up this road, I'd hear God say, "You're moving in here. You're moving in here." I was like, hell no. It's too expensive, I'm sure. And I looked all over fucking town before I even called this place, because I thought this was a last resort. And sure enough, I got a call back. They said, "We want you to look at this place." And I was like, oh fuck. I knew it. I just didn't know why. And it was just like crunch time at the time. It was like I was either going to be on the street, or I'd call the person back and say, "I really need that apartment." And the person that helped me with it was like, "Yeah, go ahead." But I remember every day I walked past right up to here and see that apartment number and be like, it's too expensive for me. I'll never be able to live there. Sorry, I'm smoking like that garbage cigarette shit that's around here. Like, I really don't want to be around people like that make me feel bad all the time. Because I already do. I'm sorry, I just don't like feeling like a slave to people all the time. I don't think I'm really good at it. I can't stay in code for very long. I'm sorry, I can't. It's really hard for me because I don't know how to react properly. I just have to go like by intuition and instinct and whatever they call that ability. I already know King Bear doesn't want me here. But I'm not looking for his job. I just like how he does things sometimes. Just like I like how I know they're not great people. They got flaws like everybody else, just like my parents do. Everybody has flaws. No one's perfect. I got a billion flaws. I'm sure there's like always a list of checking them twice. You know, sometimes you have to learn from the best. Right? Just sit there and mean mug and hate on people who do things that are exceptional. You'll never learn anything from them, you know. So, I mean, it's not like I'm throwing pearls to swine again. I mean, you can learn a lot from people So, who do exceptional in life. So, you might not take the same path as them. You might take a similar path, but you can't take their path, regardless. You can. You can try to throw them off and knock them off their game, but ultimately, they're going wherever they need to go. It's just, it always ends up kind of weird. Like if you try to, like I say, just hang out with the devil at the devil's playgrounds for some, because, I don't know. I mean, you can hang out there for a year, but you're still going to go on your path, but it's going to, I don't know, you might get that side eye if you want that side eye in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not the guy everyone talks about. Everybody knows you, but not everybody talks about you. If you know what I mean. You're really not as important as the other guy. If you know what I mean. Even though he wasn't as bad as the other guy. If you know what I mean. So, I mean, I'm just using that as an example. It's just easy reference. We always talk about it in America. There's always a reference. There's always a return back to that. Everybody says, oh this, oh that. It's always a reference to, I don't know, extremist or radical behavior, they say. But I don't trust anyone anyways. The world is a scary place anyways. Like I said, one time I had a dream that Donald Trump locked me up in a facility and made me do like videos all the time, like TikTok videos, because shit was going down. And I told him I didn't want to do that. But I feel like I'm being forced to do it anyways. I kept telling him that's just not the right move. It's the wrong move. I kept making videos about that. I said, you're gonna ruin it all if you keep doing it. Everybody's going to give you that side eye. They're going to say, oh yeah, he was okay, but they're going to give you the side eye. I mean, you still get where do you go, but you still get the side eye. You know what I mean? I said, you don't want that. you still win the war, but you get the side eye with it. It's like, well, should we talk about Ukraine about, I don't know, 40 years later or something? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, 60 years later or something. Do we just extend it for another 100 years and wait? Or do we revisit it and pretend it's something brand new that nobody's ever heard of? Is like Ukraine's independence that important? Or is it just important for like the EU? I don't know. It's an ethical question unto itself regarding historical events, but it's like the Jean Godard like clip that I showed of Emmanuel Macron and Volodymyr Zelensky. Was that shot so iconic that it represented like a time in French New Wave cinema history that we kind of forgot about was really iconic in film? I don't know. It had that element. You don't see things like filmed like that, especially like when it deals with large dignitary leaders, you know. They don't reference like certain styles of cinematic film when they do stuff like that. Aside from the fact, whatever they were talking about, I don't care. But the way it was shot and the way the scene was done really represented those walking scenes in Jean-Luc Godard films. First, I thought it was Federico Fellini, but I had to go back and look and verify. I don't know. This is all I know. Like, I'm like an internet like idiot. And to me, like, politicians are like my celebrities. So but I don't want to be like them, you know, because I know it's a lot harder than I think. And I don't want to deal with that. Because high school was enough for me to realize that's not what I wanted. Because I always felt like I had to just go ahead and relinquish everything. And I didn't mind doing that. I was like one of those leaders, I guess. You know, if I was going to be in a position of power, at least I get one thing. Everybody else can have everything, but I just want one thing. Like, I'll help you, like, do the prom, like, decorations or the homecoming decorations. But I probably won't go to homecoming, honestly. And I'll probably just show up at prom for like 15 minutes before I leave. But I'll help you out with them if you need it. I know that's my responsibility to do those things, but ultimately, you know, whoever likes to do that thing will probably end up doing it, even though it's my responsibility. So, I mean, they're more obsessed with it. They'll probably end up doing a better job than me anyways, to some degree, and I'll have them sign off on everything, so I'll make sure it's all tracked on them, so eventually in the end. So if there's any discrepancies, it goes back to that person. Because I already know what I need to do. So, I don't know. That's how I saw leadership as. Or being in positions of political power. It was just kind of like relinquishing control. But having one objective that may have been seen as controversial, but being loyal to that. And it definitely wasn't the song, the ending of the song. I could care less. I didn't care less so much that I didn't even fucking bring in the fucking tape. I was just like, I don't give a fuck. It wasn't even my tape that they used. The only thing I wanted to do was speak at the graduation. That's all. And I'm sure anybody would have. There's like 1,000 people who would have loved to have done the same thing. But I'm sure my sister would have loved to have done it at hers. I'm sure my niece would. I'm sure everybody does it. You know, I don't know anyone who wouldn't have loved to do that, but there's 1,000 people out there that love to do that shit. But I was thinking, maybe that's the only thing I want to do. I do like politics, so I'm not saying I don't. Like, I did debate. I did Lincoln Douglas debates. I wasn't very good at them, but it wasn't like, and I did student government for like 1 year. I was even in the Young Democrats thing, so I know everybody's, but I know ultimately it takes a beautiful Kansas. I just don't know what to do. I'm still smoking that garbage off the ground, that tobacco. I think it says probably has something to do because I'm from the South. My grandparents are from the South. And I'm Asian, so. But I don't think I want to be a part of that group. I have to give up anything for something else. Oh yeah, here's old boy. Goodbye. I'm sure you're happy about it. Just can't wait. Been waiting for this moment this whole fucking goddamn life, I'm sure. Beat a retard to death. How's the clouds in that direction? I'm sure they're great. Don't worry, it's just tobacco. What's up? I thought, should I ever, I'd probably need a good team to work with. I thought. I needed a good team to work with. I just didn't know it end up like this somehow. Oh, well, hopefully I get to wherever I go. Regardless if I get side-eyed. You might find me out there somewhere. Like, if you ever find my body somewhere over there or somewhere else, who fucking knows? Maybe over there, who knows? So. Hell, it could be somewhere else. Hell, I don't know. You know, one day you're in, next day you're out. What the hell is that? Everyone thinks I'm real sketchy as fuck. Yeah, I guess, if you think I'm sketchy as fuck. You'll probably hang around people I don't hang out with anymore, that's why. Anyways. So yeah, if you ever find out and think that I'm sketchy as fuck, it's probably because you're hanging out with people I don't hang out with ever again. And that's the reason why. Bye.